What's going on, guys? Lance here. So as we all know, the Crown Tundra is out and it was an amazing addition, bringing loads of new legendaries, trainers, and areas to explore. One character I am very fond of is the new character Peony. So Peony is the main guide slash main side character in the Crown Tundra. He's the guy who sends you out on all the event tours to find all the new legendaries. And I could just not help but love his character. So Peony's one of those like goofy airheaded characters who's also that caring but yet strong fighter slash trainer in this case. And on top of him having some lore and hidden information about his past, I thought it'd be fun to dive into that more. So on the surface, we know that Peony is exploring the Crown Tundra in search of discovering the many legendaries said to inhabit it. He also brought along his daughter for some father-daughter like bonding time, but she's rebellious and runs off to the Max Lair to catch Dynamax Pokemon, and then we become his part-time son for the main story. So, when then getting into Peony's backstory, the first thing we have to look at is the normal league card. A few things to note here are that he was a strong gym leader, a Steel-type gym leader at that, and a formidable one, having the nickname Steel Peony. And looking at his rematch team in the postgame, for a mono-type Steel team, it's pretty stacked with the likes of Scizor, Bronzong with Heat Proof, and his G-Max Caparajah. Then the rest of the card kind of just explains about how the picture in the league card is basically just one he took for his travel planner for his adventure with Peonia, but she threw it away and he just kind of was like, I like it, so he repurposed it for the league card. So after the main story, we get access to Peony's rare league card, and this is where some of the real important and interesting facts lie. So right off the bat, it confirms that Rose is in fact Peony's older brother, and this puts Peony in the shadow of Rose, who is seen as this brilliant prodigy child with a bright future. Peony started to rebel and become a delinquent because of this, and even went to the extremes of running away from his home. It's stated that he then became the Steel gym leader once his talents were realized, and then even became champion. But once Rose became chairman, Peony just decided to vanish, leaving the league. And finally it talks about his Caparajah and how it was caught by him and Rose when they were both kids. So the league card gives a lot of information, and I'll go into further detail with it later, but there's one more thing that kind of ties a few things together with Peony, and it's the secret event with Oleana in the post-Crown Tundra. So to activate this event, you have to talk to Peonia in the Max Lair, I believe after unlocking the Ultra Beast mission. I don't know if you can activate it before, but once you talk to Peonia, she talks about a girl with long hair at the cemetery looking for someone at night, which turns out to be Oleana. So when you head to the cemetery at night, you'll find Oleana there, looking for Rose because there were sightings of him in the Crown Tundra. And conveniently Peony walks up and Oleana mistakes him for Rose, only to realize that he's Rose's brother. Peony seems to laugh off the fact that she calls him Rose, but after she storms off since she couldn't find Rose, he kind of mumbles to himself about how a bloke like Rose can inspire so much loyalty in a person, and then he just kind of laughs it off and calls it a night. So now that we have all these puzzle pieces, I think I've formed a timeline for Peony and what might have led to certain things. So here we go. So when Rose and Peony were young kids, Rose was the prodigy of the family and Peony was left in his shadow. Despite this, when they were over 10, they were now trainers, and Peony caught Kufant with Rose together. I think since Rose was this brilliant superstar of the two, their parents might have neglected Peony to pay more attention to Rose, furthering Rose's career. Maybe even getting Rose that minor job we know about in the Galar Mines. And then we know Peony started to rebel and then ran away to pursue his own dreams. We then know that he got into the gym challenges. We don't know who would have endorsed him for this, but he raised a formidable Steel-type team and then became the gym leader of said type. He even then went on to become champion, presumably after winning the Winden tournament. This could be who took over Mustard's position after Mustard resigned, as stated in Mustard's league card, but I don't have enough to back that fully. We don't know how long Peony held the position of champion, but once Rose became chairman, Peony left the whole league, resigning as champion shortly after. This could stem from a few things we know. The chairman and the champion were closely together to support the league, but since there was still bad blood between the brothers, Peony was very likely not willing to work with Rose on his plans. This could have been early stages of working towards the second Darkest Day, and these factors could have done it in for Peony. So after he left, he might have already been with Peonia's mother. We see her in the league card, but we don't get her name. But for sure at one point he did have Peonia, and he spent all of his energy into giving her fatherly love. We can tell this by just how he acts in the Crown Tundra. This is probably Peony making sure that what happened to him in his childhood does not happen to her. Kind of a Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb type of dad. Probably another reason why I love his character. But his daughter still ended up being rebellious, and she runs away from him from time to time, but not to his extremes of like actually running away from his family. The change is, in her case, she still knows that Peony loves her, and she just wants to have her own fun without her embarrassing parent. And lastly, going back to the Oleana event, Peony acts different in this conversation. When she compares him to Rose, he seems more serious in a way. He must have known about Rose's arrest and all that, but probably was shocked that she was looking for him. And also, side note, why is she looking for him? Did Rose pull prison break or pay his bail? Why is she looking for him? Is this going to lead to like Sword and Shield 2? Because if so, I'm down for Sword and Shield 2. But when Oleana walks off, Peony is serious when he says, "Still, even a bloke like him can inspire that much loyalty, eh?" And normally Peony is a goofy character, but not here. He's got something that he's not telling us about Rose, and he just shrugs off this notion right after, again, out of character. This still leaves more to learn about both Rose and Peony's characters. It left so much to wonder, like, where is Rose and what is he doing? Does Peony know about another plan Rose has? Maybe something Rose mentioned when Peony was champion? But that's all just speculation. So this is it, what we know about Peony. It ends on a cliffhanger and leads me to wonder a few things. Like I mentioned, where is Rose, what is he up to, and what is Peony not telling us? There's more to Rose's past that we don't know, and maybe we'll get more in the future because I really like learning about both Rose and Peony's characters. So that should about do it for this video. If you liked this video at any point, don't forget to drop a like since they help out a lot, and also drop a comment on what you think is going on with Rose, and how Peony might be connected to it. Other than that, thanks for coming out.